The Toronto Blue Jays may have finally found something they've been missing all season: confidence at the plate. Because what this lineup just did against Paul Skenes wasn't normal. Facing one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball, and arguably the nastiest arm in the game right now, the Blue Jays didn't just survive against Skenes. They attacked him. And in the process, they may have given fans a real reason to believe this offense is finally starting to wake up. Heading into Saturday's matchup, everyone inside Rogers Center understood exactly how difficult the challenge would be. Skenes entered the game already carrying the reputation of a superstar despite being only a few seasons into his MLB career. The reigning National League Cy Young winner has been nearly unhittable since arriving in the majors. Triple-digit velocity, elite breaking pitches, complete command of the strike zone. He's the type of pitcher who can completely shut down an offense before the game even begins. Blue Jays manager John Schneider knew his team would need to be aggressive early. Great stuff in the zone. A lot of arm side movement into righties, Schneider said before the game. You've got to be ready to hit because he's not going to pitch around you. And George Springer clearly got the message. Leading off the game against one of baseball's hardest throwers is not exactly ideal, especially when that pitcher attacks hitters as relentlessly as Skenes does. Springer knew what was coming. Go up there and fight, Springer said afterward. He's elite. And he's elite because he's elite. He doesn't walk guys. He can control the strike zone. The at-bat immediately showed how dangerous Skenes can be. Springer swung through the first two fastballs he saw. Most hitters probably would have been finished right there. But on a 0-2 count, Springer anticipated another heater and absolutely crushed it for a leadoff home run that instantly changed the energy inside the stadium. That swing mattered for more than just the scoreboard. It set the tone. Suddenly, the Blue Jays looked confident against a pitcher who usually makes lineups look helpless. And they kept coming. Toronto finished with 9 hits against Skenes and pushed across 4 runs, something very few teams have managed to do consistently throughout his young career. That's what makes this performance stand out so much. Because this wasn't some struggling back-end starter. This was Paul Skenes, a pitcher entering the game with a career ERA barely above 2.00. A pitcher already being compared statistically to legends like Dwight Gooden. What he's doing right now simply isn't normal. Pirates shortstop Connor Griffin even admitted before the game how ridiculous Skenes has been to watch up close. You don't have to do too much, Griffin said. It's been cool to see a front-row view of what his ball does. Former Blue Jays infielder Spencer Horwitz also praised Skenes' preparation and work ethic, calling him as real as it comes. So for Toronto's offense to break through the way it did, that matters. Especially considering how disappointing this lineup has been for most of the season. The Blue Jays entered the game ranked near the bottom of Major League Baseball offensively, sitting 26th overall with a weak .681 OPS as injuries and inconsistency continued dragging the lineup down. For months, fans have been waiting for this offense to finally show signs of life. Now maybe they are, because Springer wasn't the only Blue Jay producing quality at-bats. Rookie Yohendrick Piñango continued impressing during his hot start, delivering both a double and a single while batting cleanup against Skenes for the first time. And according to Springer, what stands out most is how mature the rookie already looks at the plate. Whether it's on the first pitch or the 15th pitch, he seems to navigate his at-bat to his strengths, Springer said. He doesn't look overmatched. That's high praise from a veteran like Springer. And honestly, Piñango is starting to look like a player the Blue Jays may seriously rely on moving forward. Then there's Sanchez. Quietly, Sanchez has started becoming one of Toronto's more reliable hitters lately. He collected 2 doubles against Skenes and now owns a solid .284 batting average with a .767 OPS on the season. But Schneider says the biggest improvement isn't necessarily the hits themselves. It's the discipline. The takes, Schneider explained. You buy yourself another pitch to hopefully get a mistake. That's exactly what good offenses do. They force pitchers deeper into counts. They avoid chasing bad pitches. And eventually, even elite arms make mistakes. For one night at least, the Blue Jays looked like a lineup capable of doing that consistently. What's even more interesting is the timing of this recent surge. Toronto's current 4-game winning streak hasn't come against weak pitching. Quite the opposite. They've now found offensive success against hard-throwing, high-level starters like Paul Skenes, Bubba Chandler, Carlos Rodon, and Cam Schlittler. That's not accidental. Maybe this lineup is finally adjusting. Maybe players are starting to settle into better approaches. Or maybe, after months of frustration, the Blue Jays are finally beginning to relax offensively. Whatever the reason, this version of the lineup looks different. More aggressive, more confident, more dangerous. And George Springer may symbolize that shift better than anyone. The veteran outfielder has struggled for consistency throughout the season, but recently, signs of improvement have started showing up. Schneider believes Springer has become more athletic in the box, using his lower half more effectively and creating better swings overall. The results are beginning to follow. Springer now has 5 home runs on the season and appears far more comfortable at the plate than he did just a few weeks ago. I feel like I'm starting to slow things down more, Springer said. Starting to control the plate more. That sentence probably describes the Blue Jays offense overall right now. Because for most of the season, this lineup looked rushed, tense, and completely out of rhythm. But against one of the best pitchers in baseball, Toronto finally looked calm, focused, prepared, and maybe, finally, dangerous again. As Don Mattingly likes to say, these are hard hat and lunch pail games. And lately, the Blue Jays offense is finally starting to put in some honest work.